Hello, it's Sharon, and today I'm going to show you how to turn an old photo frame like this into a very nice photo frame that holds jewellery, so you can put your earrings in there, or bracelets, or even necklaces if you fold them over. And it's just a nice jewellery holder. So I'm just going to put that. It's not got a very good thing on the back, but it sort of lays down, but it's not completely flat. It's really good. They're really nice. So what I have done, taken the photo frame. You will also need, so here's one photo frame. You need some fabric. I suggest that you use quite a thick cotton fabric, and I've ironed it first just to make it nice. You don't want creased up fabric inside your photo frame. You want it to look really nice. So I've chosen this for my next one. Now you need to remove, I've also got some ribbons. You'll need some glue or a glue gun. Now if you're using a glue gun, as always, don't forget when you've finished, turn the glue gun off and put it away. It can be very hot, so please be careful with it. A little bit of wadding to go inside, or stuffing, and some scissors. Now I've got normal scissors, and I've also got the pinking shears today, and I'll explain why as we go along. So get your frame, and what I did was I removed the cardboard that usually goes in the back, but keep that, it comes in useful, and the glass. Now don't chuck the glass away, because at some point we will do another project, and these are the perfect size, so we can make something nice with that. So keep it and just store it somewhere safe. Then you've got the frame. Now I mixed together, I got some paint and I just put it on a little palette, and I just used a sponge, and I just dabbed on. I used a red, yellow and purple, and I've just dabbed it round, and I've let it dry, and I've gone over with a varnish. Now I've sort of missed that whole step out, but it's quite simple, and I'll explain it again in a moment. But I've missed it out because if I'm waiting for this to dry, I can't show you how to do what we want to do. So we've sort of jumped a step ahead. So like I said, I just got some coloured paint, just normal paint, normal poster paint, and I used a sponge, and I just dabbed it on, patted it round, blended the colours into each other, and I want a sort of rough, kind of a bit of a rustic, rough kind of look to it. So this is exactly how I wanted it. If you want more of a smooth look, that's fine, you can just paint it. You can also glitter it if you want. You could do, or you could even run ribbon round here. So if you put the ribbon round all the way around, you could do that and glue it on. But the effect I wanted is just this rustic, rough sort of look about it. There. So I've let it dry, and I've given it a matte varnish over the top. So then you need to remove, like the one that I showed you, you need to remove the glass and the back. Don't forget to keep the back in when you've taken it off. Just going to push everything out, and we're just going to put that glass out of the way. We're just going to put that there for now. Then you've got the empty back of your frame. So I'm just going to pull this down so you can see my hands. And I'm going to use this. So you get a piece of card, draw around the back of the frame, draw around it onto a thick piece of card, not too thick, and just cut it out. So you'll have a piece that's exactly the same size. That's it, and you just cut it out, and that's the base that we're going to use. Now I've used an old box from a desk fan, and then what you do is just make sure you've got enough of this wadding. Depends, but you can do it any way you want. I'm just doing this first to give it time to start to dry on. Just going to stretch that out a little bit. You don't need tons, you just need enough to fill that. So I'm then going to turn on my glue gun, and while I'm doing that, I think this might actually be more sensible, so I wouldn't say scrap that idea what I've just said, but because you can draw around the back of the frame anyway, so it wouldn't matter if I'd have done this. get the card, put it on the fabric, decide what you want fabric wise, you know, and if there's a pattern on it, if you want it to be a part of your decor on your frame, and just put it on like so. Now you can see there's about, what, ½ an inch round this side. Now you want that all the way around, so you draw around and you cut, you then use the pinking shears because it won't fray, and you just cut round the edge. So I'm just going to go up this side here, make sure you've got that overlap, that extra sort of ½ inch all the way around, cut round, and we're going to cut round this piece. Just go past where you've drawn, where you've marked it, down the sides, oops, and back along. And in a moment I'll show you exactly how it's going to look when you put it near the card. My glue gun should be nicely warmed up in a moment. So as you can see, the piece of card is smaller than the fabric, and that's perfect. Now make sure, if you've got a fabric with a pattern on, always make sure that you're using the right side. So there's always what's one sort of dull looking side to your fabric, then one that's brighter. Obviously that's the main piece. So you do it on, you draw it out on to the dull side of fabric. Now we're just going to move that. Oops, it's stuck to this. Always use a bit of card or something to put your glue gun on. And I'm just going to use this side because we'll keep the nice side. And we're just going to, whoops, see if that's working. Just roughly go around. Just be careful, as always, it gets hot. And just pop it on there and use your wadding. Now stretch it out onto the glue. That's it. If you need a bit more, that's fine. Like I say, you just don't want it too thick. I'm going to get a tiny bit more from here. This is easy to pick up. I just I ordered mine online, but you know, fabric shops in the market and things, they have it. If you've got an old cushion or something that you don't use anymore and it's got a bit of stuffing in it, you can always use that as well. There. So when we've stuck that on, which it should all be stuck on now, we're going to turn that over. And we're going to bring it onto our piece of fabric. Now make sure it's all tucked in, all the fluffy stuff. There we go. And we're just going to do a line of glue down the edge. Keep it close to the edge and fold over your fabric. There we go. Perfect. Now we're going to turn that round and we're going to do exactly the same thing again. Pull it tight just so that it's not too saggy, and we're good. Oops, this likes to get stuck to that, doesn't it? So we're just going to do another line of glue down there. Perfect. Stick it on the side and we're just going to fold this one over too. Pull it tight as you're doing it. Fantastic. There we go. Now obviously you've guessed we're going to go to this end and we're going to do this, but a tip that I have is, when you're doing this, I'm sorry, I'm covered in glue, it's just stuck to me everywhere. Oops, there, we've got rid of it. So, if you put a dot in the corner, top corner of each one, that's it, each side, and just bring that down, like so, it should be spot on. And then all you need to do is just put a little line of glue inside there. Remember, Yoo-Hoo glue's fantastic. There are various brands and shop brands as well that you can use. Just going to do a line in there. Perfect. And we're just going to press that down. So that's 3 sides are done now. So we're going to do exactly what we've just done. I'm going to put a tiny bit more glue here because it seems a bit floppy. We don't want that. And we're going to do a dot in the corner again. And this corner. Just going to get another glue stick because we're running out. Don't leave it too long because if you do, it dries extremely quickly. Then you end up with sort of lumps of glue everywhere. There we go. So that's the next one, the final one. Just going to move some of these strands of glue, and I'm now just going to go along there, the last piece, put that down, and it should all be stuck. So we're going to turn it over, and there we have the inside. So now we need something to hang that jewellery from. So we pick some ribbon. Now I've got a choice. I'm not sure whether to use red on this one because I quite like the red. And we use the pink and the yellow on the other one. So I'm going to open this up. This you can get ribbon bundles very cheaply from the market. You can get it on the internet. You might have some at home just lying around, or something that you might have had a gift or something and thought, you know, I'll save that because it might come in useful at some point, and it tends to. That's the good thing about it. So now, measure across. Decide how many you want, if you want 1 or 2 or 3. I'm going to probably do just 2 on this one. And firstly, this is another good tip to help with the fraying. If you don't want it to fray, just clip the end off your ribbon, measure across, and leave about 1/2 inch either side, and snip. Now I'll do 2 of those. I'm not sure whether we will need a third. What we'll do is we'll check it out, we'll lay it out on top and see if it looks like we need an extra one, and if we do, we'll cut a third. So I'm just going to cut that there. And now we're going to set it up as if we were using it already. I think we can put a third one on, so we will cut another one. That's it. Measure it out, and we've got 3 to add. So turn it over, make sure, try and keep it nice and straight, and on the back of here, you've guessed it, we just do a line of glue. So a line of glue. Remember, this does get warm, so be very careful. Oops. Perfect. And now we're just going to stretch it across. Try and keep it level. And we're just going to put a dab of glue here. Little line of glue. Oops. Remember, it's warm. I'm so used to it, I've sort of got past feeling it, but it does get hot. And then we're going to leave a gap. We're going to have the next one, so I think it'll look perfect there. It's just going to go on the other side. Put that on, press it down, and just double check that it is equal, that it is level. Yeah, perfect. Line of glue. Push it on. If you want to put a bit more glue on, you can. Now, there's no need to rush, you know, just take your time with it. I've said this a few times before, it might seem like I'm doing, you know, really quick, and it's, wow, she's done it in 5 minutes. This is my second attempt. I've already sat and made one. The first one took me a lot longer, and I did lots of bits of prep for this one so that it wouldn't take as long. But please, you know, don't rush it. It's not worth it, and you want it to look good. So there we are. That's the third one. I'm just making sure that's sort of spread out how I want it. Perfect. And a line of glue on there. And finally, just double check. It's always worth checking, because if you end up with it all wonky, it's not as good. And a line of glue there. Now, what does Sharon always say? Don't forget to turn the glue gun off. So we will do in a moment. Now, if you want, for double thickness, you can have another piece of card just to put on the back of that. Now, because this one's got a really good back into it, we don't need that extra piece of card, because this has got a really good back, and it will just go straight onto there. So you get your frame, and in there you pop this, like so. And look, it's looking fantastic. And then you just put the back on. Now, it's got a bit of padding in it, so it might be a bit of a squeeze, but it will go on. Don't forget to fasten your little fasteners. Oops. This one's proving a bit difficult. There we go, it's done it. And the last one. Push. And now all you need, this one stands completely upright because it's got a lovely back to it. You just need some jewellery to put on there. So I'm going to have a quick look. I brought some down with me. And I'm going to put it on and I'll show you exactly what it looks like. So I've got a bracelet and you can just thread that through. So don't pull the ribbon too much. You should just be able to slot that down the back. Oops. Like so. So we've got that bracelet. Then we've got some earrings here, I think, as well. So I borrowed these from my daughter. She wears nice earrings. There we go. So as you can see, I'm putting the earrings on it. It's almost like a piece of art in itself, just by doing this. Now, if you need to, you can actually pierce the earring through the fabric, but with this we don't need to, they'll be fine. And it doesn't matter if they're hanging over the frame like that, that's all right, it's all part of it. I'm actually going to take that one a little bit higher up onto the neck, the middle one, but sometimes you have small earrings and they'll fit perfectly along here. Just going to do that. Now these are great. As you can see, I'm just going to push that. Oh, maybe not. I'm going to put it on there. There we go. So we've got all those fitted on. It makes it perfect. Oops. Or should do if your earring's not wonky. Makes a perfect earring tidy. Or jewellery tidy. All in a frame. You can just put that on your dressing table or wherever, and your jewellery will be right where you need it. So there you go. So you can have a low lying one or an upright one. It's completely up to you. You can also pin it on the wall. And there we have some jewellery frames. So leave your comments, let me know what you think. I hope you've enjoyed this. I have. Something new for me. And hopefully I'll see you all again soon. Thank you. Bye.